It's time to talk about XRP. Shout out to the XRP army. Happy Wednesday wherever you are around the world. It's past midnight here. It's very late here in North America, depending where you are around the world. But yeah, no days off, giving you guys these updates that you guys love. Looking across the board, we're seeing once again a lot of positive momentum. And hopefully this carries on. Bitcoin's still not at the levels where we want to see Bitcoin at, and yet you're still seeing so much excitement coming into the altcoin market. That should tell you how important dominance pulling down it really is. But we're going to get a little bit more into that a little later on. But XRP is up 3.4% over the course of the last 24 hours. Over the last 1 hour, we're seeing about 0.4% increase. Nothing crazy, but it is something. Of course, we got to keep that in mind. XRP's price still holding around the $3 key range. We know the importance of that, and we're up 3% in Bitcoin comparative. Valuation $179.3 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at $6.3 billion. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, shout out to Crypto Insight UK. He says similar story for XRP here. The daily close was positive. The RSI crossed bullish, and even throughout this pullback, we've seen no change in the structure. However, I'd like to see a second day of follow through, price action, and volume of really feel more comfortable saying it's go time. So, every analyst has their own ways of looking at it, but there's a similar pattern. And me specifically, if you've been paying attention to it, I really agree with what he says here, that we have not seen any change in the structure itself. And that's something I've been emphasizing on my channel. And it's pretty simple. It's thanks to the dominance index. There's not rocket science. We talk about this every single day. It's literally thanks to that. Because if you're looking at Bitcoin right now, let's give it a refresh live right now. Bitcoin is sitting at $111,000, but nowhere near where we want to see Bitcoin at. And yet you're still seeing the price of XRP holding around the $3 price point. You're seeing a lot of other coins feeling love. You're seeing Solana pumping, Cardano looking good, Link, and so on and so forth. So imagine what happens when Bitcoin pushes up to 115 and all-time highs. What do you think is going to happen to the altcoin market if we're already seeing such positive reaction right now? What happens when Bitcoin reclaims above all-time highs and we stay around here for the dominance potentially pulling even lower? This potentially means that, we are going to see major upside for altcoins, and I am, projecting that. Based off of what we're seeing right now, whatever we've been discussing time and time out, it has been playing out as of now. Obviously, time is the most important factor that will tell us what happens, but that's how I'm currently analyzing this and, kind of perceiving it. But anyhow, take a look at this. Metaplanet to raise 130 billion yuan via share sale, boosting BTC holding. Talk about demand outlaying the supply. This is one of the many examples that we're well aware of. And take a look at this. Shout out to my UK followers. I know there's a huge chunk of my subscribers that are based out in the UK. I love the UK. I have family there, and of course with the CryptoZX families from there as well, a huge chunk of you. So shout out to you guys. Let me know in the comments where you guys are from the UK and what soccer team you guys support, because of course I know here in North America it's called soccer, but in UK it's called football. Let me know in the comments what team you guys support, and of course show your presence for the UK. But anyhow, enough with the rant. 1 out of 4 British adults are open to adding crypto to their retirement funds. Which token would you choose to add? And, as far as the retirement conversation comes, remember the 401k, how Trump could potentially allow 401ks to actually look into crypto assets for retirement. And now if we see this shift taking place in the UK and so on and so forth, maybe even Canada, this just shows you that this asset class is here to stay. And obviously there is a lot of interest, especially from the younger audience. Even the older audience want exposure towards crypto. And now with the regulatory clarity, with the green light that we're seeing from the regulators, there's laws that are being implemented. It just makes it easier, and investors could feel more comfortable, of course, getting into these assets. So Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And last but not least, around 88.1 million Bitcoin and 455 million Ethereum were bought on August 26th. And just like that in the snap, we were seeing them selling just 2-3 days back, which was, I think, a clear sign of, manipulation. But here we have it, things pretty much turning back to, normal. And this is something a lot of people will ignore, but not on this channel. But take a look at this. Shout out to our friend Smoke. Bank of International Settlements emphasizing that a third-party currency with sufficient liquidity is essential for efficient cross-border payments. This aligns perfectly with XRP's role in Ripple's model as an independent and neutral bridge asset that removes dependence on fragmented correspondent banking. The BIS is effectively outlining the very problem XRP was built to solve. And now, more and more people are starting to realize, what this project was really trying to do from the beginning. Of course, in the early days, there's going to be, people skeptic about the project itself, whether or not these technologies are really going to be here to stay. But now, as time has gone by, it's not a short time. We're talking about 13 years. It has really shown that, what it's capable of doing. And now you're seeing literally the whole world talking about blockchain technology and real world assets, which we're going to actually get a little bit more into right now. So XRP's current shot to Nate. XRP is currently third largest crypto asset by market cap, approximately $180 billion larger than BlackRock in valuation. Interesting because it seems like most hated or disparaged crypto asset, and that's the reality. But, when the price of XRP starts retesting all-time highs, that's, where people become like the biggest moon boys. And the price of XRP, I'll never understand it, is literally on the verge of breaking towards an all-time high. We're in the 23.6 fib zone, consolidating within this range for over a month. We've been actually consolidating within the 23.6 for over a month, which is insane to think of. And yet, people, say XRP is not moving. It's just absolutely insane. But of course, people that have been accumulating XRP for a long time think otherwise, because let's face it, you got to look at the bigger picture. Nothing's going to happen overnight. I know we want instant gratification, but that's not the reality. Meme coins has really flawed the way people think, in my opinion. Now, those meme coins, and I speak for myself too. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I keep it 100% with you, as you know, but I think meme coins have literally just changed the way people take a look at crypto in general, or even investing. Because I'm just thinking of myself. Since I've gone into meme coins, I've made my fair share of, crazy gains. I'm not going to lie, but of course I've lost a lot of money as well. But what I'm trying to say here is, when you get into the meme coin market and you make your first big gain, or, a few big trades, then, that can really make you look into the meme coin market rather than, focusing on projects that are actually building, that actually have strong, fundamentals. So this is where the diversification comes into play, right? I know the P&Ls you see on Twitter, obviously known as X now. Follow me on X if you have not done so already. I know we see those P&Ls and YouTube videos, people talking about, I made this, I made that. But again, they're not going to show you their losses. And your boy Crypto ZX will tell you there is as many losses as there is for wins. So if you love meme coins, obviously, if you're new to the space right now, I would strongly suggest to you guys, if this is your first time in crypto, diversify your portfolio. Don't just go solely on meme coins. Don't just solely go on utility. Obviously, do your due diligence research and, get a bit of everything. But meme coins, remember, they're extremely, extremely risky. There's no strong fundamentals or utility at the end of the day. It's pretty much driven by hype. So if you know what you're doing, then obviously think of money that you're investing in crypto like it's just wave it goodbye. Obviously, if it goes in profit, it's great. But especially if it with meme coins, I've always given this example, when I talk about meme coins. Let's say you've done your due diligence research, you understand how meme coins work, and you have $100 to invest. I'm just giving you guys an example. Rather than putting that exact full $100 in one single meme coin, put that into 4 different meme coins rather than just one. Because if you just put in one just rugs, then goodbye to your $100. So that's one tip that I can give you guys. But remember the risk associated to it, and extremely important to do your due diligence. But anyways, we're going on a big rant, but it's very important to keep that in mind. Let me know if you guys agree with that. Do you guys agree that, meme coins have kind of, made the entire market completely different to look at now? Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. But on that note, XRP Ledger Q2 update. Key highlights: the XRP Ledger introduces its EVM sidechain and token escrows, advancing native smart contracts capabilities while prioritizing institutional adoption and compliance. So quarter metrics are insane right in front of us. And the full report, of course, can be seen here. Shout out to Bank XRP. If you are a part of the XRP army, go follow Bank XRP as always. But if you're looking at the RWA numbers, amazing here, guys. Amazing. Last 30 days increase, stablecoin market, so on and so forth. But, we don't want to be forgetting that. Let's take a look at what's happening with the prices now. If you look at the dominance pulling down right now, again, great to see. Bitcoin, 111,000, but nowhere near where we need to be, which is at 115,000 at the minimum we would like to see. So, the door's still open for some of these down, targets, which we have retested. Something I want to keep you guys, on the same page. But we'll see what happens so far. We've seen a little bit of a bounce. Great, but dominance continuing to show weakness. That's amazing to see. XRP still holding above the $3 key range, like what I'm seeing here. Consolidating above the 23.6 sub zone, which a lot of people overlook, but not on this channel. Take a look at the bigger picture, zoom out if you want to. As always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is on financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So I want to start off with this here. Very, very interesting stuff here. So if Bitcoin price were to reach $125,000 over almost $16 billion. I know you guys are hearing me go crazy over this number, but that's true. $16 billion in shorts are set to be wiped out. $125,000. Now I want you guys to take a look at Bitcoin here. What was our all-time high for Bitcoin? Let's give it a refresh live here. And take a look at this. So Bitcoin all-time high was indeed almost at 125,000. Could this really be that next wave up? I need to get that confirmation. We need to get back above 115K, and then we'll go from there. But that would be quite something. Literally 15.9 billion in terms of liquidation. That could be quite something. So could the market makers really start taking the price of Bitcoin back up? We'll see what happens, but that would be quite something in terms of the liquidation numbers. But take a look at this. The U.S. Department of Commerce will begin publishing economic data on the blockchain. And the beauty of doing that is you cannot tamper with the data. It's set in stone. That is the beauty of the blockchain industry. And now you're starting to see the U.S. Department of Commerce really starting to show interest. And that should this is bigger than just, publishing the economic data. It shows you governments are starting to pay attention to this new emerging technology. A few years ago, it used to be seen as never going to happen. But now, as we are, going more into the future, as regulatory clarity is coming in, people are starting to understand the beauty of the blockchain technology and is being implemented. And this is a perfect example of that. But let's talk about XRP here. The market is severely underestimating institutional demand for XRP ETFs. The most in-demand applications are for XRP products. I 100% agree with that. If you're looking at the asset managers that are filing for XRP ETFs, it's pretty much in the lead compared to its competitors. So XRP and Solana stand out as two of the most popular assets for ETF applications and are among the most liquid. XRP's market depth are also surpassed Solana's and ADA at the end of 2024. This is all documented below. So in my opinion, it's inevitable for us to see these ETFs going live. But a continuous reminder that I totally agree with Smoke's overall take that, people are underestimating the power of the ETF and how it could get approved. Yes, the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity are not in the picture yet, but I'm sure they are aware of what XRP is, and I think they might be thinking strategically. It just does not make sense to me that they leave just these other assets that could bring in billions of dollars inflows, and they just don't, go for them because it just makes no sense. They're leaving so much money on the table. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. But take a look at this. XRP just got a major boost from China. Chinese fintech giant Link Logic is putting its trillion-dollar supply chain finance platform on the XRP ledger. A big round of applause once again on the XRP ledger here. Let that sink in. And if you fully understand how the XRP ledger works and how the XRP token is that bridge token, and it is required, it gets burned over time. And, we're talking about $1 trillion supply chain finance platform on the XRP ledger. And if we get more and more of these types of partnerships, things are going to get very interesting. So RWA's cross-border payments and TradeFi finance all on the XRPL. And on top of that, Korea coming in for the save. XRP at $3.05, and he's obviously referring to the spot data numbers. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, the week has pretty much still just started. We'll see what happens tomorrow. NVIDIA numbers are coming out as well, so we'll see what happens with that. But take a look at this. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse expresses excitement following the launch of the Gemini XRP card. Garlinghouse joined members of the XRP community to celebrate the launch of a special XRP edition Gemini credit card. The card, which launched yesterday, allows users to earn 4% back in XRP on everyday purchases, which, of course, I have highlighted to you guys in the last update, which is revolutionary for XRP long-term holders that are in the U.S., of course. Reacting to the development, Ripple CEO expressed amazement at the launch of the first ever XRP reward credit card, celebrating the milestone. He remarked, "What a time to be alive, XRP family." Garlinghouse remarks highlights how phenomenal it is that an XRP reward credit card has debuted, something that seemed unthinkable a few years ago. Totally agree with that. He encouraged his followers to use the Gemini credit card for everyday purchases and earn up to 4% back in XRP rewards. The tweet was accompanied by photos of Garlinghouse holding the credit card, with an XRP branded cap visible on the table. Very, very big news, of course. But take a look at this. Shout out to Vet. Remember, the very smart people are aware of the benefits. The others will tell you, as bridge currency doesn't work or has no use, the use of the stablecoins and issued assets on the XRP ledger benefits XRP privilege role on the ledger. I cannot agree more. But let's take a look at what's happening with the price of dominance. Is pulling down right now compared to yesterday. Great to see. And continuous reminder why we want to be paying so close attention to the dominance, because, dominance gone down right now, and we're seeing altcoins really feeling the love. And Bitcoin is still far off from where we were prior to, this major pullback. And yet you're still seeing altcoins having a great time. And that is thanks to none other than Bitcoin itself. We are about to retest 112,000. Do expect a little bit of a rejection. Breaking above that key range, maybe, closing our daily candle above 112 could be a nice thing. But still, the door is still open for us to retest some of these downward levels. Unless, of course, we get back above 150,000, which, of course, I talk to you guys about time in, time out. As far as XRP is concerned, made its way back above the $3 price point. We're not surprised, of course, at the psychological level, very, very important range, and we are back above that. Hopefully, we close above that range. But at the same time, you want to be paying very close attention to where Bitcoin stays. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about everything going on. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX and peace out.